All right, this is our trial run, okay? So we're gonna run through a beginner's yoga class, and this is my student. So we're gonna start with sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position. And if you don't find this to be comfortable and you can sit up straight, you can grab your yoga block and sit it like this, right underneath your tailbone, if that feels better. Can you sit up nice and tall without moving over? Okay, so we're gonna take a drop of breathe. I'm gonna drop in your hand. And have your hands together. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're just gonna take a few minutes here. Just relax. Set our intention, which is to let the stress of the day go. And just fully be present in this yoga session. For those of you who have tight hips and hamstrings, sitting on a block helps with that because it allows you to still sit up straight without rolling your back if you were pulling too much. And if you don't have a block, having a pillow to sit on is a nice prop to use instead. Now we're going to work on what's called diaphragmatic breathing or stomach breathing. You're going to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And when you take a deep breath in, fill your belly. And then exhale through the mouth. Bringing your belly button towards your spine. So you're going to inhale, fill that belly, and then exhale. Bring the belly button towards the spine. When we're stressed out, we tend to breathe up here and not down in here. So you want to nice deep breaths. Close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. But drop your shoulders. And exhale slowly. I'm going to turn my phone on mute so we don't get distracted. Let's take a few more deep breaths with our breathe oil around our nose, making sure you're filling up your belly. Good. Now, as you've been sitting for a little while, if it feels comfortable, you can come off your block. If it doesn't, stay on your block. It's completely fine. And we're just going to loosen up our neck. The next couple exercises we're going to be doing is just to loosen up our spine, release the tension out of our neck, let our hands relax on our legs, release that tension in your shoulders. You can either drop your chin and go side to side, or you can go and do a full circle. Some people don't like to extend back. It's not as comfortable for them. So I prefer actually just staying down here in the front. And when you reach a spot where you really feel a nice stretch, just stop and hold for a minute. Yoga is all about listening to your body and doing what your body can do for that day or during that session. Good. Now we're just going to very gently start in small circles, just in small circles. Go to the right, rock back on our pelvis. You can feel your pelvis rocking forward, kind of coming back. You can feel your abs getting tighter. Let them relax. Nice. Once you've gone in one direction, you can just kind of settle wherever it feels and then go the other direction. And you can go at whatever pace feels good. You can go slow. You can go faster. And you can go in whatever side circle feels good too. So if it feels good to lean forward a little bit, lean forward. And just remember, keep the shoulders relaxed and nice deep breaths. Probably go back the other direction again. Feel that in the hip. All right. Find that spot where you're sitting right on your bone in your butt and sit up nice and tall. Don't lean back, sit up just nice and tall. And you're gonna just bring your hands up to your side and you're just gonna, when you inhale, and then when you exhale, you're just gonna turn to the left. And you can grab your knee and then you're gonna take a couple deep breaths right here and you're gonna go into the stretch a little bit more every single time. So, and then exhale. Looking over your shoulder. Good. Again, reach your hands up, inhale, and then exhale to the right. Looking over your shoulder, allow that back shoulder to just kind of relax. One more deep breath. Good. One more time on each side. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale over the left knee. You probably can rotate a little bit further this time than you could last time. Nice deep breaths. And on the exhale, take it a little bit further if you can. If you can't, just leave it right where it's at. One more deep breath. Good. Coming back to the front one more time. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale and twist. One more deep breath. Good. Come back to neutral. And now you're just going to rock over and come onto your hands and knees. And kind of center yourself in the middle of your mat. And you're going to be doing some cat-cows. So you're going to inhale and then exhale. And when you're doing this, if it feels good to rock, you can rock. If it doesn't, don't rock. Then inhale. So extend your back. Lift your head and heart up. And then exhale and curl it all under. Inhale. And then exhale. Yep. Try to feel the stretch across your mid-back and your shoulder blades. Inhale. All right. We're going to stay here in tabletop, and we're going to transition from tabletop to child's pose. So we're just going to come back into child's pose, hands reached out, and as you come back, exhale. And we're just going to settle here, and we're going to do a couple deep breaths right here. Settle in, try to bring your heels towards your butt towards your heels. Try and relax your forehead to the mat. And you can either leave your hands out front or bring them back. We're going to do just one more breath, and then we're going to come back up to all fours. And then on the exhale, find your neutral spine. You don't want to be too arched, and you don't want to be too rounded. You want to find just that neutral where you're pulling your belly button towards your spine. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to go back into child's pose one more time. And exhale. If you can rest your forehead on the mat, you can do that. If you can't, you can put your head on a block or a pillow like this, which makes it extremely comfortable. If this is too tight behind your knees, you can put a block back here like this to prevent pressure on your knees. Another thing that you can do is you can just put an extra padding under your knees if your knees tend to bother you with pressure on them. And actually, I do like a little bit more cushion. Okay, so when you're ready, come back up to all fours so you're back up here at tabletop. Your wrists want to be directly under your elbows, and your hands want to be flat. And what you're going to be doing is we're just going to be opening up our hips a little bit. We have some extra yogis out here tonight. And we're going to be inhaling. And then as we exhale, we're just going to come to the side. Take them in. Inhale. And bring your knees a little bit closer, Riley. And as you exhale, you're just going to drop over to the side. With every inhale and exhale, you're going to drop to the side.
Rosie,
So much for relaxing yoga session. All right, we're just going to ignore that.
hey.
He's so scared. Go inside.
Inhale
Go, treat.
and drop to the side. And if you need to come back and drop to the side, you can do that. If it's not as comfortable, just kind of dropping over here. I actually like the feeling of just kind of rotating my hips from side to side back here. And you will get different stretches depending on the height of your hips. All right, just come back. Just lock the door, Charlotte.
I did.
Goodness, Riley.
It's fine. It's just fur.
No, it's not.
All right. Our next one we're going to do is we're going to open up our hips a little bit. And with every breath, we're going to inhale in. And then we're going to exhale out. We're going to inhale in. And then exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Let's switch to the other leg. Same thing. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. And exhale out. Inhale in. Good. Kind of take your hips side to side like we were just doing. So let's go back to that one for a second. So inhale in. And then exhale as you drop to the side. Inhale in. And then you should feel that down through the side of your hip. And then inhale in. Exhale out. Exhale out. All right, the last one we're going to do on our hands and knees is we're going to put your hand right around the middle, and you're going to inhale in, and you're going to twist and open up. And then you're going to exhale as you come all the way through. Yep. It's called threading the needle. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale. And then come all the way up. Come up. Inhale. And then exhale. And if it's more comfortable for you just to rest your head on the mat, you can rest your head on the mat. Take a nice deep breath down here. One more time. Up, open up, and then exhale. Take a deep breath here. And come back up to tabletop. Now you're going to switch hands, put your left hand down, and you're going to inhale and open, twisting, and come down through. Take a nice deep breath, and then exhale. And then come back up, open all the way up. And exhale. And you can get a good stretch on this front arm right here through your anterior delt. Take a nice deep breath here. One more time. Open up. And then exhale through. Take a deep breath. And then exhale. Good. Now, you're going to gently come up to stand on your mat. But before we're going to stand actually towards the back side of our mat. And before we do that, before we go through these next poses, I want us to use some wild orange. And wild orange is an essential oil that is great for mood. It's very uplifting. It's energizing. And so by taking a drop and putting it in my hand and breathing in, it's wonderful. And I might have to adjust my screen a little bit. So you can see us. Without cutting off our head. So here, I'm just going to give you one drop of wild orange. So the first thing we're going to do, just to kind of get our body warmed up and go through some motions, we're just going to reach up to the sky on the inhale, and then you're going to slightly extend your back, and then you're going to fold over on the exhale. Then on the inhale, you're going to come up halfway, inhale, your flat back, and then you're going to exhale and fold forward. Then you're going to step forward with your right leg all the way. And you're going to reach up. You're going to reach down, exhale, right into downward dog. You're going to reach up again, step forward. And then you're going to step forward. Taking a nice deep breath. Forward fold. Halfway flat back. All the way down. Come up. Exhale down. Halfway up. Down. Step back with your left leg. And come up. Breath. Exhale. And into downward dog. Let's just stay here for a minute and take a nice deep breath. Good. We're going to step forward one more time with the left foot. Put your knee down and your foot down, and you're just going to come up like this. Taking a nice deep breath. Exhaling and stepping forward. And then you come up. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway up. Exhale. Hands down. Left foot steps back. Side. Hands back down on the exhale. Foot back into downward dog. Take a nice deep breath here. Step your right foot forward again. Knee down. Hands to the sky. Exhale. Bring your toes up. Step forward. Reach to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway up. Flat back. Flaps over. Bring your right foot back. Reach your hands to the sky. Exhale over. Tuck your toes under. Bring your foot back. Go into downward dog. Let's stay here for a breath. Exhale. You can kick your foot up if you want, and then bring your foot back forward. Your knee down. And reach up. Down. Bring your back foot. Step forward. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, come down. Halfway. Flat back. Come all the way down. Step your right foot back. See the right leg? Reach your hands to the sky. Reach down. Tuck your foot. Bring your foot back. Downward dog. Deep breath. Kick your foot back. Left foot up in the air. Left foot reaches forward. Come down. 3. Down. Step forward. One more time on each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway up. Exhale halfway down. Step the left foot back. Come up. Open our hands to the sky. Feel a good stretch through here. Flaps back down. Bring your right foot back. And come into down dog. Kick your foot back up in the sky. Kick forward with your right. Come down. Exhale. And bring your left foot forward. Come up with a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Right foot back. Knee down. Reach up. Exhale, forward. Come back into downward dog. Kick your right foot up. Right foot steps forward. And step forward. Come up for a deep breath. All right, now we want to practice a balance pose. So let's come onto the middle of our mat, facing forward. And we're going to do tree pose. And you want to start with your left foot. And you want to lift your toes, get your weight solid through the outside of your foot, the inside of your foot. Feel like a very grounded. And you can either place your foot here, you can place your foot here, you can place your foot up here. The one place you don't want to put it is here. You don't want to press on your knee. So put your hands or put your feet where it's comfortable. And then you can put your hands at heart. You can reach them high. And just ground yourself. Take some really nice deep breaths. Just going to take another few deep breaths right here. Face is getting cut off. Okay, one more deep breath right there. Good. Now we're just going to do a wide leg forward fold. This is going to open up the hips and the hamstrings. And there's a couple ways. Sorry. You want your feet wider than your shoulders. You want to lean forward. You can either bring your hands to the mat. You can bring your hands to the block. You can grab your hands like this and relax. The key is allowing this to just relax. So just let your neck and shoulders hang. And you can sway side to side. When you go to the side, you'll probably feel the tightness in your hamstrings. When you move to the right, you'll feel it in your right hamstring. When you go to the left, you'll feel it in your left. Just allow your body to feel where it's tight and just kind of stretch it out where it needs. Unclench your jaw, allow your jaw to relax. Take some nice deep breaths while you're here. And just allow the hamstrings. You're going to want to keep your quadriceps tight. So pull your kneecaps up. And that'll allow your hamstrings to release even more. Good. Now you're going to take, and we're just going to do a little bit of a twist. Take your left hand and place it on the mat in front of you. And on the inhale, you're going to open up and look towards your right hand and up towards the sky. Just take a nice deep breath. You'll be feeling this through your inside of your hip. You'll be feeling it in your chest as you open up your chest. Again, you can put your hand on a block, wherever it is the most comfortable. And go ahead and exhale and switch to the other hand. Put your other hand down and you're going to open up this side. Good. One more time each way. Switch hands. And on the inhale, or excuse me, on the exhale, come up and twist. And then stay there for a few breaths. Good. Come back down. And let's switch back over to the right hand down on the mat. And then inhale. And then on the exhale, twist and look towards your left hand. Good. Now, let me just check checking on the battery life. All right, we're gonna leave our back leg facing forward, and then we're gonna turn our right foot this direction. Yep, at a 45-degree angle. And in one motion, in a nice deep breath, we're just gonna hold warrior one. So you want your heel of the right foot or your front foot to come right to the middle of your back foot. And you don't want to be facing this direction. You want to open, you want your hips to come forward and face forward. And then to make it harder, you come down. To make it easier, you stay up. Don't allow your knee to go in front of your toes though. So move your toes forward if you want to come down to a lower lunge. Okay, and now you're going to go from warrior one into warrior two. Good, and just hold it. So you were in warrior one, and then we came into warrior two. And with warrior two, you're opening up your pelvis, you're squaring up, and your hands are coming out this direction. And again, to make it easier, you come up. To make it more intense, you come down. Sorry guys, there's some bugs out here. All right. The next move we're gonna do is you're gonna come and you're gonna bring this knee straight, and then you're going to just come, so you're gonna be doing a triangle pose. You're gonna be coming down to this ankle. You're gonna try and keep your shoulder up. Yeah, so you don't wanna come forward like this. Keep yourself open, up against a wall if you need to. You can always do this one with your back against the wall to keep you, so you know exactly what, if you're straight up and down. Good, just keep this open. You're gonna wanna look towards your hand. Nice deep breaths. This just really opens up your hip muscles, your trunk. Good, and then you're gonna come back up. You're gonna step a little bit closer, and you're actually going to turn your foot. And for this one, we're gonna reach our hands up like this, take a nice deep breath, and then on the exhale, you're gonna come forward. Now, that might look like keeping this foot down if you don't have good balance, but if you do have a decent balance and you inhale up, and then you're gonna exhale. The key to this is not allowing your hips to open like this. You wanna keep your hips parallel to the mat. And then keep your hands out. Good. You're gonna feel this in your stabilizing leg, and you're gonna feel it in your lifted leg. Good. Come down. Good. Now we're gonna do that on the other side. Now you're gonna take your left leg, and you're going to start off by balancing, tree pose. You can keep your hands here. You can keep them raised. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Grounding down through the earth. Allow your feet, you shouldn't be grabbing with your toes. You should be equal weights on the outside of your foot, the inside of your foot, and the ball of your foot. You can even sometimes allow your toes to raise. Keep this hip open. You do not want your hip to come forward like this. You want this hip. If you have to adjust, it's fine. You need to find your balance again, it's fine. Yep, just keep your posture as nice and tall. Remember to breathe. Nice. All right, so this next move, you're literally going to take your foot. You might have to move this one back, but remember, we're going to go right into warrior one. So you're going to leave this foot like this, and you're just going to come up with a nice deep breath and come anywhere that it feels comfortable for you. You don't want your knee to have any pain. You don't want your back knee to have any pain, but you do want your hips to be facing forward. So if you have to come up for a breath or two and then go back down, that's what I want you to do. You want your form. It's much more important than how long you stay down. And with the back foot, you really want to make sure you're putting pressure through the outside of the foot and not allowing the ankle to turn in. Good, and then open up. We're going to do warrior two. So now you're going to be facing the screen. So your hips are facing the screen. Your feet are still at a 45-degree angle to each other. And again, you can play with the height of what you hold, but as you can see with your knee, you do not want your knee to come in front of your toes. So if you have to inch your foot forward a little bit, you can. You just hold this stretch or hold this pose because it's nice and strengthening for the quads. Okay, come back up. And now you're going to be in triangle pose, and you're just going to come down and you're going to reach as far down on the ankle as you can. If it's the most comfortable to stay here, you stay here. If you can come down here, you can come down here. Again, you want to look up towards the sky. So look up towards your hand reaching up and just breathe. And again, you'll feel this in through your inner thigh, through your trunk. If you have a block and you want to hold the block, you can do that as well. Look up towards the sky as you take another couple deep breaths. Good. Come on. All right, walk your feet together. And before we actually finish the last couple poses, we're going to do them seated. I'm just going to move this back up. And we're going to put some balance on the bottoms of our feet. All right, I think we're doing okay with time. Okay. Now, you could either use balance or wild orange and interchange them, but I really like balance at the end just for its calming and grounding effect. And so I like to take a drop of balance and put this on the bottom of my feet, and I like to put it on the tops of my feet. Okay, rub your feet together. Now, you can do one of two things. When you do this last, we're going to go through that diaphragmatic breathing again. If you have really tight hips and it's more comfortable to sit on the block, then sit on the block. You can even sit on the block and do this position. You can sit on the block and sit cross-legged. You can sit cross-legged, however you want. So whatever position is comfortable for you at the end of this. And we're just going to do some more breathing because we want to now relax our bodies, ground our bodies, and just prepare us. In our case, we're preparing for the evening and for bedtime. If we did this in the middle of the day, we would be preparing ourselves to release the stress of the day and allow ourselves to have good energy through the rest of the day. So take a nice deep breath, smelling the balance on your hands. And then place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And we're just going to do our deep breathing again. Filling our belly and then exhaling. We're going to do about 6 really nice deep breaths. When you have your hand on your belly and you take a deep breath in, my papers are blowing everywhere. You'll feel your bottom hand extend out this way, and then when you exhale, you'll feel it pulling towards your spine. The key is, though, allowing your shoulders to relax. You don't want to have your shoulders up here. And relax. Normally, we're going to do a few more poses, but this is the time where I would have everyone get out their gratitude journal, and they're going to take a pen and just jot down 5 things that they are grateful for, whether it's things that have happened today, whether it's for your children, whether it's for the fact that we're all home together during this quarantine, whatever it is you're grateful for, I want you to write down 5 things. And so since I didn't have you prepare for that before this, I'll have you do it at the end. But tomorrow when we go through this session again, I'm actually going to pause and have everyone take a few minutes and just write some things down that they're really grateful for, and just spend a few minutes in gratitude. And so when you're finished, until everyone is finished, we're just going to do some more deep breathing and relaxing, but you can decide if you want to do that laying down or if you want to do that seated. So at this point, I'm going to have you lay down, and we're going to do a few poses on our backs. And just to start the first pose on our back, I just want to lift the hands over the head in a full stretch, so our entire bodies are stretched. And allow the shoulders to relax against the ground, but at the same time, I want you to reach your toes in that direction, and I want you to reach your fingers up in this direction to just give your full core, your spine, everything a big stretch. Take some nice deep breaths, and on the exhale, reach out and stretch. And then exhale and reach. And then exhale. Now, you can either keep your hands above your head, but this next one, I want you to bring your feet together and just allow your hips to drop open to the side. So you're going to feel a stretch in through your pelvis, in through your inner thighs. Yeah, just like that. And for this one, you can either put a little bit of extra pressure here on your thighs. If you just want to relax and take some deep breaths, you can leave your hands up, pointed toward the sky. When you lay on your back and you're relaxed, you want the hands, the palms facing up. If your palms are facing down, it immediately rotates your shoulders in and brings them up. But if your palms are facing up, It relaxes your shoulders and allows your shoulders to come against the ground. It allows them to relax. So if you need a little extra stretch, if you need to pull your feet in further, whatever position, to just get a couple really good hip opening stretches here. And just try and relax. All right. Your final position, I want you just to find a position now. If you need to do an extra stretch of knees to chest, or if you just need to do like a happy baby stretch where you just kind of rock on the back a little bit, you can do that before we go into Savasana. But I actually love this one because it just kind of massages my lower back muscles in a very gentle way as I rotate my weight to the right and left. Good. And just bring your feet down. And in this final pose, you're just going to relax your feet, allow them to fall out to the side. You're going to either place your hands on your belly, or you can relax them out to the side. I want you to close your eyes. And if you're having a hard time relaxing, start at your feet and just tighten up your toes and then relax them. You can tighten up the tops of your thighs by squeezing your quadricep muscles and then relax them. You can squeeze your butt cheeks nice and tight as hard as you can. And then fully relax. And same with your shoulders. Just relax. And as everyone is finishing out their practice by just taking some deep breaths, I want to thank you for joining me and for allowing me to lead you through this yoga session. Thank you.